Hey, it's Nathan with OptionsForAll.com. In this video, we're going to go over how to set stop limit orders on your stock options on Robinhood. We'll do it on regular Robinhood, and then we'll hop over to Robinhood Legend and cover it over there. And I'll show you how to set these stop limit orders on both your short options and your long options, because the mindset kind of shifts depending if you're setting your stop limit order on a short or a long. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into it. Now I'm here and I'm going to go to one of my shorts. So I have this IBIT $59 put. I have 8 sells or 8 shorts right here. So let's say that I want to set a stop limit order on this particular position, because once it gets past a certain point, like, I just want to buy back my options and get out of that position. So I'm going to go ahead and open this particular position, and I want to go ahead and click this little down arrow right here, and you see the option for stop limit. So click that. All right, so what we are doing right now is we are buying to close. Since this is a short position, I already sold these options and now I need to buy them back to close the position out. So first things first, you set the number of contracts that you want to go ahead and set this order up for. So I have 8 contracts in this case, so I could go ahead and set it for 8. Or if I wanted to do, 1 or 4 or something like that, maybe close out half your position instead, you could obviously set up the number of contracts that you want to buy back. The next option is to set our limit price. So at what price do I want to go ahead and buy back these particular contracts? You can see right now the current price is $7.80. So maybe I'll do $10, for example, as that's the price I'm willing to spend. You can see that my average credit was $6.67. So let me load up my calculator. So we got $10 minus 6.67 times 100 times 8 contracts. So that's a $2,664 loss if my limit gets hit in this particular example. So we'll say I'm okay with that. And the next thing we need to do is set up our stop price. So the stop price is what triggers this particular limit order to be placed. And when you're doing a buy to close, you want to set your stop price lower than your limit price. So for example, I might do like $9.90. So as soon as the option price hits $9.90, Robinhood will automatically put in an order for me to buy back my 8 contracts for $10. So yes, I am buying it back for 10 cents more than the stop price, but I also want to make sure that my order fills. Whereas if I set my stop price for $10, for example, by the time the option hits that price, the ask may be beyond that particular price and my limit order will never fill. So you likely want to set a stop price that is less than the limit price that you're placing. And the gap between limit price and stop price may change depending how volatile the stock may be. Like, this is my IBIT position, which can move quite quickly, so I might even be more cautious just to make sure that my order fills. And at 9.80, I go ahead and place that limit order for $10, so that way I'm sure that it closes out. And then you can go ahead and select your time in force, so good for day, which means at the end of the day this order will cancel. Or you could do good till canceled, and that way the order will just stay active and open until you cancel it or the option expires. So that's how to set a stop limit on a short position. Let me go to a long position now, because it involves a little bit different mindset. So coming on down here, I have this long position right here. I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and in this case, we're doing sell to close instead of buy to close. We still want to click this little drop down arrow, and we'll go with stop limit, and we go ahead and enter the number of contracts, just like when we were buying to close. Now in this case, we go ahead and set our limit price, so the price that I'm willing to sell this position at. So in this case, we're going down in value. Now my average cost is $20.22, and of course the current cost is $17.55, which means that I am currently losing money on this trade. Now maybe I'm willing to go down to $15 right here. So let's go ahead and get my calculator back over here and do 20.22 minus 15 times 100. So that would be a loss of $522. That's my max loss that I'm willing to take in this particular trade. So I could go ahead and set my limit price for $15. And then we go ahead and set up our stop price. Now in this case, we want our stop price to be greater than our limit price, because we want to trigger this order at like 15.10, so that way we're sure that it'll go ahead and fill at 15, right? We're coming down, we hit the 15 mark, we trigger that order, and we set in our limit order for $15. So we'll set our stop price, for example, at 15.10. And so at 15.10, our limit order will be placed for $15, and we'll go ahead and sell those options back. So if the option drops down to $15.10, our sell to close limit order will be placed, and we'll go ahead and sell this particular option contract for $15. Same concept with time in force, good for day or good till canceled, and then you can go ahead and review order and place that particular order. So now I'm going to go ahead and hop over to Robinhood Legend and show you how to do the same thing over there. It is a little bit different, so I just wanted to include that in this video. So here we are in Robinhood Legend, and I'm actually just going to create a new layout real quick, just so that way it's nice and clean. And I want to go to my positions. So you want your positions somewhere loaded up, and we'll just make this bigger. Now let's go to the same IBIT position we're looking at in regular Robinhood, and if you hover over it, you see the button right here to close. We can go ahead and click that, and then it gives us the order type. We'll go ahead and click that, and you see the option right here for stop limit. So we have the same settings as regular Robinhood, and we set it up the same way. You can set your quantity, your stop price. So remember, I wanted to do it for $10, and we want to go ahead and trigger it at $9.90. And we could change our time in force to good for day or good till canceled, and then click on buy IBIT in order to go ahead and submit our order. So that's pretty straightforward and simple, right? Now let's go ahead and talk about the long position. So let me go to one of my longs. I think we're looking at the $40 call in regular Robinhood, and we hover over it, and we can see, let me actually make this a little smaller. We can see that we have a stop loss button right here. So on the long positions, we have a set stop, whereas the short positions, we just have a close button that you have to click and then change to stop limit. But on the long positions, they have an additional feature. So we can go ahead and just click on set stop. And in this instance, it sets the default order type as stop market. Now you could go ahead and change it to stop limit as well, and then you go through the same settings just like regular Robinhood. But stop market is available on Robinhood Legend, and it makes it a little more simpler in that you don't have to think about your limit order that you're going to be placing. Instead, you just set your stop price. So let's say that, it was at $15 is my stop price. Well, then as soon as the option price hits $15, it's going to submit a market order in order to sell to close my particular option. And it might be a little more than $15, it might be a little less than $15, but at least you're confident that your order is going to fill and that you didn't set your limit too close to your stop price. And then we have the same time and force option as well, and then you could go ahead and click on the sell IBIT call in order to place that particular order. Now, one thing I should have pointed out earlier is Robinhood does not support stop limit orders on multi-leg option positions. So if you have spreads or iron condors, you cannot set up a stop limit order on Robinhood. And so for your multi-leg positions, you may want to set up an alert of some sort so that way you're notified when that particular position hits a certain threshold. Now in the Options for L options tracking dashboard, we do have alerts. So just a quick plug for our platform. So this iron condor position right here, I have one right here. You can see that there's 4 legs in the iron condor, and I could come over here and set up an alert to be notified when a certain criteria is reached. So I could set up an alert for an individual leg or any leg, or a position alert. And in this case, that's what I want to go ahead and do. So alert when the percent return goes below, and we'll do -50. So if this iron condor position drops below 50%, I want to be notified. I could go ahead and create that alert. And now I will receive an email if the return on this particular position drops below 50%. And you can learn more about this tool at tool.optionsforl.com or just optionsforl.com. All right, so that's it for this video. Hopefully you found it helpful, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.